This is the Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall.
Let's go nuts! It's Jimmy Nuts! Drive out with a car!
With your hosts, Mark Martinez.
Remember, just because you're trash doesn't mean you can't do great things.
And the English Professor.
It's called a garbage can, not a garbage cannot.
Hey, this is former WWE superstar Duke, the Dumpster Drosy, and you are listening to the Can Crushers Podcast.
And welcome to Can Crushers. Mark Martinez alongside Chad Pirana, the Guru. Chad, we need to get you your whole thing set up on the website. I forgot to tell you that off air, but I might as well remind you now, so this way you can go back and listen to it. Can Crushers, we talk wrestling, we drink beer, we drink coffee, we just have a lot of everything going on, and today is fucking jam-packed. I'm starting right now. We don't have time to shit around. We have so much stuff to talk about, stuff that we didn't cover last week. NWA Hard Times, Worlds Collide, which I didn't watch, but you did, and then predictions from the masses, Chad. People are writing in saying, we want to let the World Wrestling Federation, World Wrestling Entertainment, however you want to say it, know that this is what we're going to come out and say on Can Crushers. I mean, there's some notable people on here saying, get our predictions out.
You should see online too the stars that are coming out, the baseball players, UFC guys making their predictions online and everything. For some reason, and I'll go into maybe some thoughts when we talk about it. For some reason, this Rumble's generating a lot of interest, more interest than normal this year.
Why? Well, I know you're going to get into it. Leak this for, or let this suspend until we get there. Why? Why is it so big? I mean, who are these people? I mean, they're writing into us saying, make sure we get our predictions known. I mean, we have owners of companies. We have movie producers. We have, wrestling talent themselves saying, Can Crushers, make sure you get our predictions noted that this is what we wanted.
Then you have some ring rats.
And then you have some idiots.
That one ring rat on there about his group or something.
Yeah, we have those people too. But I mean, it's unbelievable that I don't know. But where do you want to start? Let's rewind a little bit. And you have some stuff that John and I didn't cover last week because we were engulfed in IWC.
Yeah, just like little things hitting in the news. There's of course, more ongoing stuff with Tessa Blanchard has come out. More of the same. Still not sure where I'm at with this. I don't want to say I don't believe it because of the sheer number of people.
Right.
But I have a problem with the bullying thing, not thinking that it doesn't get done. It does in wrestling, obviously. I just have a problem with that being more of jealousy and Tessa taking charge.
Really?
Just kind of. Yeah, I don't know. I could be way off on it. But, look who her dad was. Look who the top figures, everybody from the beloved John Cena to Undertaker to anybody else, they're gonna be more directive. They're gonna push their own agenda.
Because because they're, my air quote, stars already coming into it, that they have it on you have the company on their back, I'm air quoting all to hell all of a sudden, but is it because they have the company on the back? Because now Tessa is carrying Impact.
It could be. That was a huge thing. What woman wrestler, regardless of what anybody thinks of her winning the male title,
throw all the PC crap out the window for a minute.
What woman wrestler wouldn't want to be in that position?
Right.
Except for, and I will say this, except for people that, and I hate to just point out WWE, but I think of people like Becky Lynch, unfortunately, Mr. Charlotte Flair,
You're gonna get a lot of people hating you on that one, but all right.
Ones like that. I mean, this is a huge step for Tessa. Right or wrong, the company's doing it, and she would be a fool to say no. This doesn't make sense, and I think that would, because honestly, the Impact women's division is not good. I don't think it's that good. So they're taking the best star out of that to make her their star. Period.
You have Jordan now Jordan Grace is
Champ.
The champ now. Tyra Valkyrie has now challenged Tessa, right? So she's now looking for that heavyweight opportunity as well. I don't know. We'll have to see where it goes with Impact, but you heard about how the English professor and I feel about Tessa as in a whole. We met her young. We met her again. She's a sweetheart. We don't know what happens behind closed doors. We really don't. I don't know. I'm on the fence as well because a lot of people you said have come out. Blinders, I think. I just put my blinders up because, you're getting to know this a little bit like John and I. We're welcomed. We're very much welcome, and it's very nice to have, the people like Calvin come up and say hi, or Britt Baker or Wardlow, because they know us now. So I look at them as general human beings, and we're respect back and forth. Close the door on us. You're an asshole, I'm an asshole, John's a dick, but people don't see that.
Yeah.
They see us on the podcast, and we don't know what Tessa is doing behind her closed door, or I'm not going to name other names, but this is I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where this all comes from. What else do you want to talk about?
There's an incident with Conan.
Oh, okay.
Not that one. There's an incident with WCW star Conan where he was slapped outside a event in Mexico City by Psychosis 2, and this was not this wasn't a part of the program or anything. I guess between them, with Conan being in the mix in AAA, high up on the echelon of the people there, Psychosis and him having problems, I guess it just kind of boiled over into a little bit of a Twitter war, and then Psychosis confronted him, and he legit bitch slapped him.
Wow.
And that was it. Conan, just kind of backed away and everything like that. Just kind of something follow a little bit, because Conan has such, what do you want to call it?
Legacy?
I was thinking more his reach in the organization promoting and stuff like that. This could really hurt this Psychosis 2. And by the way, Psychosis 2, he got that bestowed upon him by the original Psychosis. Just something to kind of watch, really off the wall. There's a lot on YouTube, and some of the other websites covered it a little bit. Just something little odd, little inner fighting or whatever between potentially two of the biggest stars.
Speaking of inner fighting, and I'll transition right into this because this came out after last week we paid our respects to Rocky Johnson, and I'll let you go with it because I read about it after you showed me the link and led me the way. But a little bit of a family feud at Rocky's funeral. Isn't that sad?
Amongst the incidents at his funeral, and well, just go
with it. Yeah.
With him passing away, obviously the legacy, the Samoans, everything like that. Roman Reigns, the Usos, there was a tribute aired on SmackDown, and only Roman Reigns participated. And it was I was like, oh, that's kind of odd. The Usos are there. But then I read that Rocky Johnson and Rikishi haven't spoke in like 5-6 years because Rikishi said, and this is not playing favorites, Rikishi said that he did not approve of Roman Reigns interracial marriage.
Was it Roman or was it Rock?
The Rock. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
The
The
Rock.
Rock.
The Rock.
Yeah, all right.
Sorry, I was going one way. Yeah, he did not approve of The Rock's interracial marriage. And Rocky Johnson called him an effing racist, and they didn't talk. Well, with this little tribute, the Usos were supposed to participate, but then they're like, well, we don't want to piss off Dad,
Right.
and they didn't participate in it. And
I
I found that to me real. If there's ever a family
Right.
in any of them
That
in
stick
wrestling
together.
that stick together, it is the Samoan family. Throw out the Von Erichs, throw
The Andersons
the
out?
Rhodes, the Andersons. What ones are really Andersons?
Right. That's
and
why I
not.
brought that up.
Throw out. There's no other family that is through the history has been close, and this really, I was like, holy crap.
Yeah. This one was like, holy crap. When I read that article as well, I'm like, wow. I understand it. I really do, because, again, that the lineage, you don't want to piss off your dad. I mean, I don't want to say just an uncle, because that's going to get us in a whole hell of a lot of trouble. But, an uncle to dad, you always pay it forward, pay it back, reverse pay it, whatever. Just to have your dad in your back pocket all the time. You know what I'm talking about. I can see why they did it, but it's still a shock.
Yeah, that was the biggest thing. Just a bit of a shocker, definitely.
The next one is a bit of a shocker too, and I know one person you've despised your whole time when we talk about this, and we're not a fan of Joey Ryan and the shtick that he does. But the next person, you loved him last year at Crockett Cup. CM Punk's best friend at one point. He can wrestle serious. He can wrestle, funny. He's pretty big up on the NWA right now. Colt Cabana does probably the worst spot in wrestling history. And since you're already red in the face, there's no other person to tell us about it than you.
This is it. It's
disgusting.
It's crap. It's disgusting. It has no place. The first person, and I'll say it. Okay, they had Joey Ryan and Colt Cabana had a match at one of these little bar wrestling events or whatever, and Joey Ryan's whole stick is to have somebody grab his manhood and him flip him. Well, they took this a little bit further, and Colt got on his knees and opened his mouth wide and grabbed Ryan's
appendage.
This, I got no respect. Zero respect for anybody. I don't care. This is not changing. This is not funny. This is not entertainment. This is crap. Of all people,
Colt Cabana
to do it. And for, I think they said there was 35 people in attendance at this thing. Anybody who signs those two and brings them in, you're doing a disservice to the wrestling industry.
Okay, well, let's talk about that right there, because Colt is signed, okay? Colt is signed with the NWA. Probably our favorite thing going right now, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So, is that a knock on NWA right now?
I think it is, because, a little bit different situation, but same kind of deal. When Cornette regurgitated a remark that he used back 30 years ago, they were all up in arms and ready to crucify him and everything like that. But you're going to let a guy...
But it wasn't on national TV is where this is going.
He still did it. He still did it.
I know.
I don't care if it was taped. I don't care if everybody in the building was shot afterwards, except for those two and the ref.
God,
it just doesn't
turning into
it doesn't have its place, and you destroy any and all credibility
I agree.
that you have when you do something like that.
I agree. No, I completely agree. Kids in attendance or not, it's just it's.
I would have if I would have been there
distasteful.
with my 5-year-old and they did something like this, other than covering up his face before it happened, I'd have been like, "Here, can you watch my boy for a second?" And I would have punched him in the face, both of them, right there.
Right.
That's how bad I would have been pissed.
Wow. All right. Move on because it's disgusting. Do you have anything else? Because I watched some random stuff this week. In the midst of not having any time to breathe, I decided I was going to find something else to watch. Do you?
No. Nope. Pretty much stuck to the same thing. AEW, watched a little bit of Raw, was for once.
We'll get
glad
there.
that I did.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll get slow your roll. Slow. WWE is the last thing this week with the predictions.
The only other thing was an odd little thing is Kenny Omega took to Twitter, downgrading the fans, calling us classless, and we don't get it for his booking of the
Riho and
AEW
Shida and all.
AEW women's division, and as some people point out, his little fetish with Japanese schoolgirls type thing. I'd really like to know why Kenny Omega isn't allowed back in Japan.
That'll come out.
It's
in
gonna-
time.
it's gonna come out,
I
and
mean,
it's-
in years.
There's something going on there, and I think New Japan, they book Kenny so well.
Yeah.
I was a huge fan watching his stuff. And I'm not saying he's necessarily booked wrong here, but what is showmanship over there and everything is
Sometimes it doesn't translate.
WWE joke stuff over here.
Yeah.
Kenny's not going to be the star in the U.S. that he was in New Japan. And I'm not being racist when I say this,
Oh, God.
but you look, when Kenny was over there, how many white guys were on top and having great matches all the time? I can think of 3.
Who?
Ospreay,
Okay.
Zack Sabre Jr.,
Yeah.
and Kenny Omega.
Right.
Those were the only 3 white guys on a card of 10 matches involving 40 wrestlers. There's a reason for that. They want to see their own people. They want to highlight their own people. And when you pursue a title for years and years and years, like Omega did with the IWGP Heavyweight, and then you get it, and I saw more action out of Ronnie Garvin in his NWA title reign.
Slow down. Slow down. That's nonsense, but okay.
Well, I'm making a joke because
I
Omega
know.
didn't have any big matches, anything like that. His whole IWGP reign, thus my Ronnie Garvin comment, because
Right.
he didn't do anything either.
For nothing.
And then you lose the title to, I think he lost it to Okada, and he goes on a rant stating, I shouldn't even have been wrestling somebody like him. You're going to go on the rant against the biggest
Names.
name there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I screw you, Kenny Omega.
Okay. So, I watched a little Blood and Guts this weekend. Right? I'm not one...
Oh, okay.
I do watch a little Blood and Guts every once in a while. But I'll start with, I was getting my Fight TV app set up on my TV before NWA Hard Times, and nothing going on Friday night, Friday after work or whatever, so I thought, well, let's see if this works. So I stream Cage of Death 21 from December, CZW, okay? Some great stuff. If you haven't watched it, we're late to the thing. I don't know how much CZW we're going to cover, but every once in a while, I'm now going to dabble. Matches were great. Some of the violence was unbelievable. It really was. It was over. The English professor would be throwing up because he can't handle any of this, okay? But we would like it. We really do. Until we get to the end. Okay, they're in the cage of death, the match. There's 75 planes of glass. There's light bulbs out the ass. There's just a plethora of carnage and weapons. Awesome. I'm excited. They battled. There's blood everywhere. Livers are hanging out. It's just gross and disgusting. Until the end. You see the end coming up. A referee on the outside is setting up a pyramid of wooden doors and chairs. And then a guy gets thrown out of the cage because it's tilted backwards and whatever, sideways, whatever. So he's out of the cage. He's now starting to climb the outside of the cage. Well, here comes the other guy. This is taking 10 minutes to set up. Really is taking 10 minutes to set up. Boom! He goes through all the doors and the chairs. The other guy climbs to the top of the cage. There's a scaffold up there that has a door, a glass window, a barbed wire table, more chairs, more barbed wire. And you know where it's going. You already know where it's going. You're like, okay. But the guys just went through tables now. He can't not sell it. So the other guy's up on the scaffolding, reading Al Snow's book, reading Ole Anderson's book, just taking his time.
Ordered a pizza.
Anything. It was too drawn out. They go through a flaming window, barbed wire table, glass, this, that. Good Lord, good for you. Because something would have been cut on my fat ass. Boom, match over. It just took too long. Was it good wrestling? Yeah. But the last match was, you saw everything because it took too long. Another one I just watched legit 20 minutes before we started the podcast because I was looking for just something random to talk about. MLW just had Jimmy Havoc versus Mance Warner in a no-rope barbed wire match. Just posted 16 hours ago. Now did the podcast about 24 hours ago. This was bloody from the get. Oh. It was unbelievable.
Was it as bad as the... What was it? Terry Funk Sabu ECW one?
No, nothing's ever going to compare to that. But this was, Mance Warner was dripping blood like Stone Cold during his face was just split open, dripping blood from the get. He's moving a door, and it's just spewing like there's a fire, and he's trying to put it out.
Hey, English professor, think of that when you're eating lunch today.
Right?
Or dinner.
This one was rough. Jimmy Havoc had a little bit of blood. Mance got the staples to the head, barbed wire all over. Dudes, this one is free on YouTube. Watch it. It's MLW 96 or it says no ropes barbed wire match. Find it, watch it. The rest of the card was good too, but we're not going to dive all the way into it.
What's up with, speaking of Havoc and bringing him up, kind of dropped off of AEW. You haven't seen him in what, a month or more?
Month or so. Yeah, I think he's lingering on Dark, which you said you had news about that. I think he's lingering around on Dark because how many times can you have Havoc and Darby? You know? Yeah. And they're pushing Darby more.
Darby, I've warmed up to him. When I first saw him, I was like, oh, what the hell, another, flip and spin and crash guy. I don't know, I've kind of warmed up to him a bit after his matches with Cody especially. I'm telling you, Darby sells me because his
whatever Excalibur calls jumping through the ropes, a suicidal dive.
Tope Suicida.
Yeah, that. Whatever the hell he calls that, because he sells the damn thing. He's the only one in wrestling that I've seen that when he throws himself through the ropes, he throws himself through the ropes. Himself first. He gets hurt more than landing on you.
And he hits the guy. He doesn't reach out with his pinky finger, tap him, and the guy goes rolling up to the stage or something.
Yeah. So, all right, that's a great beginning when we had really nothing to talk about. We just ranted. We're going to take a quick time out. You're going to hear from our great sponsor, Collar and Elbow. Chad, you need to get some stuff from Collar and Elbow.
I know.
You need to see.
Do they have stuff for
They
big
have
guys
camo
like me?
stuff, too.
They have camo shit?
Yes, that's the selling point. You're
Okay. Payday.
Collar and Elbow. Go to collarandelbow.com. Hats, hoodies, tees, anything wrestling related. They have some cool Macho Man inspired stuff with Al Snow and Head. They had a Dusty shirt, Mean Gene stuff. Get there. And the shirts are comfortable. So get there. And when you check out, use the promo code CANCRUSHERS. All one word. Capital C in Can, capital C in Crushers. And you'll get 10% off along with whatever the hell they're doing there on Collar and Elbow. So, yeah, let's listen to Al. We'll come back. And, guys, this is a spoiler. We're waiting on WWE this week to give all the predictions along with the masses that have written in to Can Crushers to say, let our voices be heard.
Wrestling. A love and a passion we all share. I've started a wrestling brand. The wrestling brand. A brand founded on the aspects of wrestling. Two entities working together to create a product that connect emotionally for people everywhere. Collar and Elbow is the brand. Passion and love for wrestling is the drive. I am Al Snow, and this is Collar and Elbow, the wrestling brand.
Hey, all you stupid Regents math breeders out there. This is Amanda. I'm Elijah Dean, and you are listening to Can Crushers Podcast.
And welcome back to Can Crushers. The Mandime giving us some love. It's unbelievable because he hates all mouth breathers. We're not one, so.
Give him a mirror, he'll be happy.
Right? Give him a mirror, he'll be happy. So, Chad, we're not going to really touch on the weekly shows this week because there's so much going on besides AEW. So let's jump right to AEW right now. Then we'll transition to NWA, and then we'll go from there. AEW starts, and don't forget, folks, they're on a flippin' boat.
On the Jericho Cruise.
Which next
year 2 could go if you have about $2,500.
Right, you could. Next year's is announced. It's February 1st to the 5th. About $2,500. I'd love to. I could probably save that much from now until then to, well, it would have to be before that. But, you know, maybe get another job or something. I would love to. But
maybe sell the kid.
I would sell something else.
Okay.
But
I'm just saying $2,500, that's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money. I don't know what I'm gonna sell. I'd walk to work for a little bit, sell the car. That's a lie. That's a lie. But
your offshore oil accounts.
Yeah, right. She would be all right. She's always all right. This is about the wife, okay? She's always all right about us going to wrestling events. Winston-Salem, when it's cold, go. Concord, North Carolina. It's still not warm. Go. We're going to go to here. We're going to go to there. We're to Pittsburgh every month. She doesn't care about that, right? She's good. Graces. Go. Goodbye. I cannot get this one past her. Honey, I'm going on a cruise to Bahamas for wrestling.
Yeah, this wouldn't fly with my better half in any way, shape, or form. I could try to disguise it as, hey, I'm going on a tugboat fishing trip or whatever, and everything like that.
The only tugboat, unless the Shockmaster's there. That's the only tugboat that's going to be around.
The worry that I would have, and it'd be my luck, is I'd be there and in the audience, and Cody Rhodes it'd pull me into the ring or something like that.
She'd be watching wrestling that week.
The 1 week she'd be watching wrestling would be that week.
And you're in the Bahamas.
It's kind of like I'd get back to my hotel room and the angel of death would be, let's just cut to the chase. She saw you on the boat.
Yeah.
Do you want to die now, or would you like to go home and,
die a painful death?
Die a painful death. Okay. Yeah.
The worst thing would be the text. You know, granted, if there's cell phone service wherever we're at, hey, I saw you on TV today. I'd want to die as soon as I read that text. Because the trip home would be bad. Getting here, we're not talking now for the 5 days that we're gone, so I'm wondering what she's doing. Has she burned all my stuff?
What guns does she have loaded? You know,
right.
I would just throw my phone overboard and then jump.
Hope for the best.
And just jump after it.
So we're gonna try going. Is this what we're saying?
No.
Okay.
No.
No, not at all.
We have an announcement on our travels, but no, not on.
Right. We do have an announcement on our travels. To those who get to go, I'm jealous. I really am. I'd love to go. I don't know. I want to say I have a year to work on her, but I don't really think I have a year. I could have a lifetime.
Yeah. Yep. Hit the lottery.
Which she better check the tickets. The million thing. Did you check it? The $1 million thing
I
or
have
whatever?
not checked our tickets yet.
Well, if then she would let me go.
Yeah.
Because she would probably go to Prague or something. I don't know. I don't know what you do in Prague, nor do I ever care.
No,
but
she should go. If she's going to go on a trip and go to Europe, she should go to Monrovia.
Oh, yes. Yes. And become a citizen. Dual citizenship.
I mean,
if you're going any place, you should go to Monrovia.
You know, screw Venice and Rome and Italy and Germany and go to Monrovia.
Right. We have some stuff to say about that, too. NWA has let us down. But, all right, AEW, back on to Paige and Omega against SCU for the tag team titles to start the show. Wow. There wasn't a lot of shtick during this show, by the way, either. It was legit matches because they're on a effing boat, again, so you can only do so much.
Yeah, I like this one. This is probably one of my favorite episodes of AEW. It was wrestling and a little bit of related storyline stuff, and that was it.
You got longer matches. Not saying 25, 30-minute matches. You got longer matches on AEW, which shows, holy shit, some of these guys can actually wrestle.
Yeah.
Which is good. It actually, I was impressed by them waiting to do this on the boat.
Well, and this is a huge undertaking. This boat is completely sold out.
Right. And it's not a boat. It's a freaking ship.
Yeah, it's a yacht. I think I read where it holds
97 million people.
It's like Titanic type size type thing. There was a lot of people on this thing.
Yeah.
I loved it.
I
was
did too.
Impressed by it.
I was too. I thought it was. The ring was I would think the ring wasn't the 20 by 20 ring. It was a 16 by 16, which fit. I like the 3-sided with the ramp down the middle. All the little things. Not really being able to see the commentators. They were pushed back onto like the stern. Is the stern the front?
I don't know.
Oh, all right. Well,
I just call it the front.
I thought I was going to get a boat term in here and actually make sense, but I'd look like a jackass. So are you happy that Omega and Paige are tag team champions?
I saw it coming. The tag team division is, so-so at times. I saw it coming, and I think it's going to be in the development of a double switch with Paige and Omega eventually. I think there's going to be rule breaker switch.
Oh yeah,
with those guys. I'm hoping Paige gets the better of it, but
I am too.
We'll see. But it was a good match. It was a really good match.
It was a great match. I really liked it.
Scorpio Sky, the dude's he's money. They'd really need to keep him and run with him.
Together, you mean? I want to see him alone.
I would like to see him alone. That's what I'm saying. He's a good wrestler.
I like Frankie. Of the 3 SCUs, no disrespect, Christopher Daniels is the one that, if we're going to push aside, let him go aside. Or him and Frankie can go back together. Let Scorpio have the run by himself. He needs it. He doesn't need it because he's that damn good, but he deserves it.
Yeah.
Britt against Priscilla Kelly. What? You didn't like the promo, did you? I love the promo. The English professor loved the promo.
The content of her making fun of Tony Schiavone.
I loved it.
I was kind of laughing, but she looked like she was on drugs.
Oh, Britt.
And I love Britt. I do. I mean, from meeting her in IWC to her and Adam picking my little boy up at 3 years old for a picture, absolutely love her. But she looked like she was high, and her voice didn't match the promo. The content, yes. Her pulling it off,
we'll get there. We'll get there. I'm looking at it more as I didn't listen to the voice. This is the first time. I'm sorry, Britt can do whatever. Everybody knows I have a crush, do whatever. But
Tony Schiavone, the guy that he is, the guru of wrestling and commentating. If you look when it's over and he turns away and he actually mouths the words, "What the fuck was that?" That's about summed it up.
See, I didn't look at it that way. I looked at it as there was a heel turn coming, and I've been
great. I want Britt as a heel. I think she'd be better in AEW as a heel than she would as a good one, because this is going to be a way to take the title off of Riho.
I agree, and that's where it can go, and that's all I was saying. Good Lord. Jurassic Express against Jericho and Pride and Powerful, which now we're not Pride and Powerful anymore. Now they're Santana and Ortiz again.
They went back with that because I'm guessing it's about a month ago, a little over a month ago. Santana's father passed away. He was extremely close to his dad. For the couple of weeks that they weren't there, that's where they were.
Family stuff.
And so that's why they made the switch back to Santana and Ortiz as in a way to honor his father.
I like that. And they can keep it. And they can
keep it. I like that.
It. I'm all right with that. Let me stop for a second. I posted it, and I know you're not a big Marco Stunt fan or whatever, but this guy can sing. Did you see some of the stuff that he was doing on the boat? This guy can freaking sing, and I love it. This is another reason why, because thank you for the fans for posting some stuff. And again, actually, thanks Britt Baker, because on her real life personal one, she kind of sent like a DM to some people and everything saying, look at this. And it's unbelievable some of the stuff that they were doing on the boat. I wasn't there, so I'm not going to release stuff, but this is one that's made its way out, and Marco Stunt is hilarious. He can sing.
I was laughing. Him and
Dean
Ambrose singing
Johnny Moxley. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
This is another reason why I want to be there. Stuff like this. Pull the curtain down and let's have fun, because we're human beings. We're getting loaded. Not that we get loaded a lot. Never. We'll get to the match. Ref Aubrey looked amazing.
She's been, since AEW's come on, she started to kind of, just kind of work on her appearance a lot more. She's
outright gorgeous.
Her actions and stuff. She's really pulling it together.
Yeah, she's a great referee, and she looked amazing. Jericho pin stunt. We knew this was gonna happen. That's the match. You saw Luchasaurus's boot that you love. It was great. Match.
Yeah, it was about what you would expect for the match. Jericho and Stunt. I just started roll. I was just waiting for Jericho to just punch him in the nose, or at first my thing was maybe kick him right in the groin to end the match, but then I was like, well, Jericho lifts his leg up thinking he's gonna kick him in the groin, and then he takes a poor kid's head off or something like that. Yeah, it ended well.
MJF against Joey Janela, another one of your favorites. Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford come out to distract Janela.
Is this Penelope Ford? This is one that was in IWC?
Yeah.
Holy
shit.
Yeah.
You said fuck a minute ago, but you won't say shit.
Oh my gosh. I wasn't quite sure that it was the same one because I remember
well, it was
what were they announcing? Bliss 1.5. They were shouting to her when she was in IWC.
Yeah, something like that.
Bliss 2.0 or something, and she's put on a little bit of weight in a good way, and she's smoking.
She looks...
How the hell Joey Janela ever got up with that? I don't know. Maybe Marco Stunt was his stunt man or something. I don't know.
MJF gets the win after the double cross. He gets on the mic, talks about Cody. Cody comes out. Cody can't touch him. So he leaves. He's like, oh, you can't touch me. And all of a sudden, Cody's like, but these guys can. Boom, super kick to the face, and then he goes swimming. Cool throwback type of NWA, WWF comedy shtick where you end up in a pool, you know.
Yeah, this was
Bobby. I saw Bobby Heenan flying through the air, going into a pool or a pool of poop or something.
I was thinking Bobby Heenan coming down to ringside, turned around on a camel.
Right, same way.
It was funny. This was entertainment. A dick spot is not entertainment.
See how we get right back to dicks? He loves them. And then we have Moxley against Pac. Jericho's on commentary. And I wasn't all in on this match because it doesn't advance anything for me. Like, I know Moxley's winning. I know this is going to be a brutal match. I really don't care how Moxley's going to win. It's going to happen, Moxley and Jericho. You know. So I would rather have seen Pac fighting somebody else. I'm on record saying I've never been a Neville Pac or whatever fan he's been. I've just not been a fan just because I don't care. He doesn't have, and I hate to say, he doesn't have the persona, the charisma to pull me in. Not that he's not a bad wrestler.
He's got the ability.
Yeah.
He's just, and that's what hurt him in WWE was the not having the talking skills, that type part of it. I like him. I like the bastard Pac and him being a rule breaker. I think he is a massive great as a rule breaker. You seen him. I think this might have set him back a little bit. Moxley had the title shot
right
from before.
Right.
This, what the hell was this? They didn't need to have this. Or if they had it, then have a no decision or have it nothing on the line and have a no decision. It just...
Yeah, I don't know. I just have Jericho come in and start beating him.
Yeah.
From the get.
And this was limited a little bit by being on the cruise.
Of course.
And that, I think that might have been able to ratchet it up if it wasn't on the cruise. But again, it is what it is. It was a decent match. They're going with the Moxley run, how far they take it.
I think they have to take it. I mean, is it going to be his first shot? I think at Revolution, does he get it? I don't know. I don't even know if this match happens at Revolution, which is at the end of February. I'm not sure because you have MJF and Cody, which is going to steal the show. I really think that's going to be... We have, a month now to get in the Lashes and the Wardlow match with Cody. Right. So
my worry about that is I haven't seen a lot of MJF in the ring. I don't know how he's going to handle this big a spotlight with a superstar like Cody. So I'm kind of, how's he going to handle this? I don't know.
Well, that's a good point. More people, as we're going, are still reaching out to us to. I told them they needed to be in by said time because we're recording. More people are still saying, "Hey, get my Rumble predictions on your show today." That's why I'm a little off every once in a while because my phone's blowing up. Sorry.
More than normal.
A lot more than normal there. All right, let's transition into NWA. Okay, we'll touch a little bit on Power and then cover Hard Times. Get the English professor in here and do our predictions because we're catching up real quick on time. Power, okay. Thunder Rosa against Tasha Steele. Again, two of my favorites right now.
Awesome match.
What a way to start Power.
Yeah, that's how you hook audience in.
Yeah,
right from the get-go is a match like that.
Two of my favorites. The match was amazing. Rosa asks, Melina, what's going on? And Melina's like, you're getting the shot. That's great. I did see something else coming from this, but we'll hold off on that. Aldous is pissed at Skrull showing up. This is great. Are you excited to see Skrull?
Oh God, yes.
Right, yeah.
This is bringing, if you haven't followed Marty Skrull's re-signing with Ring of Honor, ooh yeah, he got a new contract, but he is now the head booker, which gets that idiot Bully Ray out of the mix in his stupid storylines and beating everybody up that he can just because he's Bully Ray. But what this does is head booker, talent relations, NWA, AEW. There's an announcement about NWA coming for April shortly. I'm just saying.
Where this is going, and you said it. I'll put it on record. Last week, doing the whole IWC thing, I stayed in Pittsburgh. You said it to me Friday. This shit is gonna hit the fan, and you were like, "Let's go." I'm like, "Get to it next week," and it perfect because we're covering Hard Times pretty hardcore. It makes perfect sense now, and we'll get to it. Royce introduces May Valentine finally. She's been around, but it's finally, hey, this is May Valentine. Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. Trevor against Latimer to see who gets into the TV match.
TV title.
Yeah. Trevor wins. We saw this.
Yeah.
Because Latimer doesn't need that TV title. Allison and Melina go face to face, and that's where we find out she's got to have a match. Only if she beats her best friend. It's a no DQ match, Chad, and it could have been a little bit better.
It was a TV match, so I didn't see a lot of violence coming from it.
No, I meant, like, if it's no DQ, usually it's going to benefit Team Latina, or whatever we were going to call them. They didn't do anything with it.
Yeah, it was Allison Kane not hitting her with a chair, and then ends up, I guess it was like a DDT type maneuver. I don't know quite what she was going for, and slams her head off the chair and pins her.
Yeah.
It was just like, okay.
Sorry, again. Another one just rolled in. Pope against Kingston. What are we gonna get? What are we gonna get with this?
I think this is a start to pushing Pope, a slow push on him.
Oh, I agree. Yeah.
Right now, that's about all I can say because there's so much running around otherwise. But I think this is going to begin the slow push with him.
Yeah. Spoiler, I'll go here. They announced the people that were going to take that open spot on Power, and I'm not disappointed because Matt Cross is pretty awesome and Moff is amazing, but Pope would have been great to slide in here. Or have Stu Bennett come out from behind the table, because
that's where I thought they were going to go with one of them.
You have Kyle Davis, who is a great commentator, waiting in the wings to sit with Joe, and I think it would be fine. And you get Stu back in the ring, unless Stu has said, "Hey, I'm legit done wrestling," but I can't.
You can't find anything about it though.
No, that's where I'm like, but we'll get there.
We'll get there.
Aaron Stevens makes an announcement. We're going to have a karate demonstration. This was awesome. Favorite part of the week right here. Again, we get
this is comedy that's funny,
right,
and useful.
It set up something
and
for
he
down the
plays
line.
it. He is such a missed talent. This is one of these ones that WWE could have done so much with and made, such a star, and they screwed the pooch.
Yeah, more or less. Ricky Starks turns out to be a student and smashes karate board over Steven's back, and it's going to set up stuff for down the line, especially after Friday's event. $99 a lesson, though, to learn Mongrovian karate. Would you pay it?
This would be a hard one. I would probably have to forego the Jericho Cruise, and I'd have to take this many lessons.
I would too.
Mongrovian karate,
especially as fast as you climb the degree ladder in black beltism or whatever you. But this is unbelievable. Mongrovian is 10 times stronger than regular karate too. Did you know that?
Yeah, because the loop has to go around the belt twice.
Right. This is unbelievable. This is the wrestling stick that is just so classic. It makes no sense, but it fits. It's great. And this is where we'll stop and bitch, because you said it on Hard Times. NWA has let us all down. They have not hung the Mongrovian flag yet. We need to write into Dave Lagana, Billy Corrigan, anybody to listen. We need to get that flag hung in the...
I'm not much for playing the racist card and everything, but this is bad on the NWA. You have Canada and US and
Japan, England. They're all up there.
They're all up there. But, maybe question mark and Steven should call Stephen P. New about suing them.
God.
Maybe this is a lawsuit.
It could be a lawsuit. All right, let's just get to the main event so we can go through Hard Times and actually spend about 20 minutes on it. Aldis against Ricky Morton for the title. It was a TV main event.
Yeah,
this was good, but it was lackluster good in my book.
It was. Ricky Morton, 63 years old.
Right.
He can still do more than he should be able to do, but this was unfortunately a match that I was just like realized that he was 63 years old, and Nick Aldis, showing he did everything he could to carry it and make it a feasible match.
Good words. Good words. All right, let's transition to Hard Times. This is all about the TV title, which, dude, I'm happy is back. I've called you dude twice, maybe 3 times this show, so I don't know. Maybe the title's going to be Royal Dude. I don't know.
Guru Dude.
Guru Dude. First match of the night, question mark against Trevor. We're going to skip through it. We're not going to dive into each one of these. Go to Fight TV and watch this, but we'll just go quick. It took Trevor 2 bulldogs off the top rope to beat question mark. Neither one of us were happy with this match, by the way.
No. We kind of saw question mark going deeper into the tournament. But again, this was a result.
He doesn't need the title, though.
He doesn't need the title, but it would be immensely funny to put it on him. But I see why they didn't.
Right, yeah. Right, I agree. Moff against Zicky Dice. I still can't get behind Dice, so nice win by Moff. He's a beast.
Yeah, these guys remind me. What's the
AOP?
No, the one on SmackDown that's messing with Mandy Rose.
Don't ever. Moff is so much better than Otis.
No, I'm saying body wise, he looks like he just has a
So did Crusher Khrushchev.
15-gallon
Crusher
keg
Blackwell,
as a chest.
Yeah. So did Jerry Blackwell,
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Matt Cross against Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks is a star in the making.
Yeah. It was a good match. I was surprised by that outcome. But then again, every match until the final, you were surprised by.
Yeah. We saw Matt Cross at WrestleCade. The guy can work.
Yeah.
He's great. Hopefully he sticks around with NWA as well. Tim Storm against Anderson. Anderson cannot get cleared. Air quotes, cleared. Why? He's the one that beat the hell out of Colt Cabana on Monday night. Where's this?
Maybe he caught something.
Yeah, maybe he did catch something. And I just read, though, that Mr. Anderson's doing stuff with TNA in the near future. Was Anderson a month off or 2 month off thing with NWA and now he's gone?
Well, and then I've read, just read this morning that there was rumors flying around that he didn't want to do the job to Ricky Starks.
What?
Later in the thing. So, a lot of stuff going around. Don't know what's going on.
Him and D'Lo are bringing Aces and Eights back too. That's just that was an eye roll.
Hey.
That was an eye roll that damn it I wish we had video for right there. Stu says, dun, 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 April, Can Crushers are going to the Crockett Cup.
We got on the Hard Times pay-per-view.
We did. We
didn't, but
it was Can Crusher. I mean, the Crockett Cup is coming back in April. They said someplace bigger than the arena that they're at or the studio they're at. I would imagine Concord, because Billy said last year he wanted to keep it there for a couple years. So pay attention. And this is where Chad wants to tell you a little spoiler, because at that moment he's sitting on my couch and we're like, holy shit, what does this mean with AEW, ROH, NWA, and where else?
Anybody. New Japan.
IWC, OVW. I mean, literally.
And it's funny you mentioned that. So I'm just sitting there and scrolling, and this thing pops up from this unknown website or whatever on one of the wrestling pages. And it is a 24 tag team tournament labeled as the Crockett Cup.
24 or 32? 30.
No, it was...
Yeah, it was 16 matches, so it was 32 teams.
32 teams.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where the hell did you get 24?
24. I was thinking 24 matches.
Oh.
I was thinking all the other matches. Never mind. So this pops up, and I'm like, what the hell? Somebody's doing some fantasy thing. And I'm going down and going through these teams. Every place that we just talked about, minus IWC, was represented with teams. We're talking, and we're not talking, their mid-carders or lower cards. We're talking Cody Rhodes in it, the Briscoes. I mean, I was like, holy shit, what the hell is this? I show it to Mark, and we're like, what the hell? That has now since disappeared.
Uh-huh.
It's gone. You can't find traces of that thing. If that Crockett Cup ends up being what the teams they had in that, this will go back to the days of the Crockett Cup's inception and all the great teams. There were that many great teams there.
Yeah.
And if you don't go to it and it's that, then
you're stupid.
Yeah. You should be shot.
So that's a Crockett Cup. We're there. Hopefully, maybe a couple other Can Crushers can go with us, and we can rip up Concord a little bit, as long as we go back to the Alligator Restaurant place, because, my God. Triple Threat Tag Team match. We said this was probably the best booking of the night because it needed to happen. We love that the Rock and Roll Express had the titles. It's time to get it off of them, because now you can have great tag team matches.
Yeah, you can have more competitive, more hard-hitting matches. And again, love Rock and Roll Express. Favorite tag team of all time, period. But it was time. They did a nostalgia trip. They gave them a couple of wins, appearances, and stuff like that. But this made sense. This change made sense. It didn't make the Rock and Roll look weak.
Not at all.
And it wasn't a crappy match.
No, it wasn't a crappy match. And the wild card doesn't need the titles. Them being in strictly business, perfect team to get it. Eli and James Storm. Beer buddies? Is that what they're going with? Or
Beer buddies.
Yeah.
Beer pong.
Yeah.
Beer drinker.
Yeah. Whatever. I love these two. James Storm is the muscle. Eli's the mouth. Not that he's not muscular, but it's just the way. It's a great old school tag team.
Both of them connect with the fans.
Yeah.
I think I like them. Honestly, like them as a tag team. And I'm not generally one to throw two singles wrestlers
I'm
together
not either.
And put the titles on them and that. But these are guys that will work as a tag team, will go as a tag team. They make sense. Their performance was flawless. It looks good.
Next is, and the English professor gets in this. We recorded his spot early comparative to when we normally do, but all three of us agree that Allison Kay against Thunder Rosa, probably my match of the night. Some people say it's potential match of the year candidate.
It was an excellent match. I've thought about it, for the last couple of days between that and what was the main event of Nick Aldis and Flip Gordon. And I go back to the women's match. It's not a diva match. This was a wrestling match. This wasn't an overly brutal, ridiculous, foreign object using match. This was a wrestling match. This was a joint manipulation, injury storyline, expressions, fitting everything and looking, emotions at the end. This was honestly, I always hate to, say a match like this is a match of the year candidate this early in the year.
Right, it's January 26th.
But this
could be.
This could be it already.
Yeah.
If it doesn't get lost by the end of the year.
And that's the thing. It's so early in the year. Rosa becomes the first ever Mexican-born NWA champion. That's within itself, guys. I've been telling you for months since I saw her early at like Wrestle Circus and on WOW and things like that. I said Rosa is it. And let me say this: that I love the WWE women. I love Sasha and Bayley and the Four Horsemen. I love them. I really do. There's other ones that I like too, Bliss and everything. We have a special link with Britt, and we like the bunny and everything in AEW.
I don't like the bunny.
But for the minimal amount of women that are on the NWA roster, they have the best division right now, hands down.
Yeah, action-wise, believability.
And I'm not saying anything bad against Ashley Vox, but she's better than some of the bigger names elsewhere. And she's bad word to use, but the jobber of NWA.
Yeah, the WWE again. I'm a huge Becky fan. Hate Charlotte, but I'll give her props sometimes.
Sometimes,
but they're more of showwomanship. And you just don't get the matches from them like you do consistently on the NWA.
Yeah. Marty Scurll makes his appearance. He's there. He says he wants a title shot. Aldis comes out and says, hey, I'm fighting Flip tonight. Scurll says, yeah, but you're not fighting for the title. You're wuss bag. So let's make this a title shot. Aldis says, wait a minute. Let me throw some conditions into it. He gets the stroke if he wins. Flip gets a title if he wins. We look at each other like, holy shit, Flip's winning the title tonight.
Yeah, I honestly thought, boy, they could really throw a screw ball in here and have Gordon get the title.
And then our brain just went in overdrive. We're like, this is it. All right, we'll get there. We're back to the TV tournament. Moff loses to Trevor, again with a top rope bulldog. Starks beats Tim Storm in his only match.
Yeah, Tim.
That was a shock.
Yeah, that I did not see. not just because of Storm and how, the Mama Storm line and, Tim Storm, if he's not a good guy in real life, he's the best actor in wrestling. Just didn't see that coming at all.
No, I didn't. I didn't either. Shooter against Steiner. This was the match that we really didn't care about the whole night, and it's not because of Shooter. It's because Steiner. But the best case scenario happened. I don't think you're going to get the win Shooter over Steiner because he's brought back for maybe 1 or 2 appearances.
And Steiner's a dick.
Right. Steiner wins by DQ because our boy comes into the ring and hits him with the Mongrovian chop. Hits him with the Mongrovian.
Split his back right in half.
Yeah. Steiner's lucky to be alive.
Yeah.
He pulled up on it a little bit.
Yeah. He was lucky on that one.
Flip against Aldis. This is a great match. We've seen it before if you watched Aldis and Flip prior when Flip was a good guy.
Couple years ago he was
young.
Small. Hey,
he was green.
What about Flip Gordon when he come out versus last year when we seen him in the Crockett Cup?
He's thick.
Dude is jacked.
Yeah, he looks great.
And for anybody who says steroids, crap, everything like that, follow him on Twitter. Go on Facebook. Dude is always posting stuff, working out and everything. He's
huge into CrossFit.
And who does he work out with? One of his biggest partners, Jonathan Gresham.
Not me.
And look what Gresham looks like.
Yeah, my God. Good match. Not a great match, good match, but this is where we thought, all right, Flip wins. It gives Aldis something to do. He's got to get the title back, and then he's going to face Skrull maybe at Crockett Cup, a couple month or so, because we have all this. We're great bookers, and none of it happened. Aldis won.
Yeah. Yeah, out of nowhere with Ricky Morton sit down pin.
Yeah.
Again, great match. This figures into Aldis getting the stroke now, so to speak, and playing him up more as a prick.
Yeah.
And
they're finally turning him heel because I love him.
He had his moments here and there and stuff and everything like that. But now that they're getting him more on TV, they're turning him heel, which makes a lot more sense. He was playing the crowds and stuff before and had the whole crowd into it. Now that they're on TV, now they're able to kind of go one direction with him. He's still going to have the one thing I love, even though he's a heel, he's still going to have hellacious matches.
Oh, yeah.
And you don't see that from a lot of heels who run around out of the ring, stuff, everything like that. Aldis is still having physical knockdown, drag out fights. And this was a good match.
It was. It really was. But I'll tell you what I really like, Chad. I like that since this was called Hard Times and it was about the TV championship, bringing it back, they actually saved the final TV match for the main event.
Yeah.
I love how they gave. It was all about this. The promo that first came out was, look, here's the TV title. We're bringing it back. And we're getting Trevor Murdoch from Waxahachie, Texas, against Ricky Starks. Trevor would have been the sexy pick.
Yeah.
Because knowing this, that, and the other thing, putting the belt on Starks makes more sense.
Yeah,
and you said this.
It does. Love Trevor Murdoch and his resurgence and everything like that, and that would have been the great pick. But him winning the tournament kind of reminded me of the sexy picks from the Crockett Cup
that we sucked on.
I'm talking back in the 80s. Who was always the fan favorite pick?
The Rock and Roll Express.
Rock and Roll Express. They never made it past the first round.
No. But will they this year? So Ricky Starks is your new champion. Last TV champion ever was, and don't say you knew this.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Right.
I knew this.
You did, only because you watched it Friday.
That doesn't matter.
Did you? I didn't even know he had the title.
I had no clue when the TV title died. None.
And I never thought it was Duggan.
It was a title that became very, very irrelevant.
In WCW. Yeah. But I don't think it's irrelevant in NWA.
No, this is gonna be something every week.
I hope they drop the 605 though now.
Yeah, it's time. I like it, but it's not realistic.
No.
Not realistic.
Well, they dropped it for the main event. It was there's
No
going to be a winner.
limit.
Yeah, no time limit. So bring it back to, I like 15 because it's a quarter of your show. If it goes the whole way, I like 15-minute time limit.
And with having a longer time limit, you can use that to your advantage going into any kind of breaks, and if they break away from the action, stuff like that, you can use it like that. So definitely longer time limit.
All right, guys, if you haven't watched NWA Hard Times, get it on Fight TV. We also have a code that you can use. Reach out to us. Go back and look at our Facebook. It's all over that. All right, we're going to go to the English professor. He's going to touch on a little bit of Hard Times as well. And then we're going to be back and release our Royal Rumble predictions, brief over some stuff on WWE here on Can Crushers.
I have a 3-disc DVD set of Bret Hart's career with the cover signed by the Hitman. On one of the discs, Vince McMahon tells us that when Bret stepped into the ring, we were going to have a story told to us. Humans have been telling stories since our creation. Before there were words, a caveman may have told his friends about his day by reenacting it. Stories truly are a fundamental part of our being. Allison Kay and Thunder Rosa told us a story Friday night at Hard Times that for me earned the Match of the Year consideration early in 2020. The women worked with chips on their shoulders, both storyline and in reality. The storyline had been building for weeks, filled with double crosses, posturing, trash talking, and at least one gangland-style attack on Kay. Kay and Rosa started the match looking to show toughness and endurance by throwing fists. Kay, fed up with constantly having taken the high road on her white horse, smacked Rosa a few times with some old-fashioned 80s Brooklyn-style face mushes. Apparently they mushed in Detroit, too. But Rosa mushed back. Throughout the early parts of the contest, we saw how evenly matched the ladies were, with the challenger and the NWA World Women's Champion both taking powders on the outside to regroup and plan their next attack. Knowing what little I do about the participants in this contest, I imagine there was a personal aspect to this match. The Can Crushers and some of our guests have often said that the best pool of talent, particularly with the women's division, is in the WWE. With this match, Rosa and Kay were asking, oh, really? WWE has talent on the injured list that rivals the women in the NWA and on AEW. Couple that with just the criminally underutilized floundering superstars like Natalya, Sonya Deville, and Sarah Logan, and WWE surpasses both competitors before we even get to the big guns. It's simply a numbers game. But can the sheer magnitude of WWE's women's roster tell us stories that come close to what we're seeing among less than a handful of women in the NWA? I say no. In fairness, my son and I watch about half of Raw before it's off to bed for him and I change the channel. And we've regularly forgotten about SmackDown now that it's on Friday nights, which is unusual. We were sure that since it isn't a school night, my son would be eager to stay awake and eager to tune in. But we've done other things and simply forgotten. When one of us remembers that we missed SmackDown, my son usually gives an and thinks nothing more on it. If you're losing a 9-year-old's attention, you're doing something wrong, WWE. If Mark and I found out we missed a wrestling show, or if there was a glitch on the pay-per-view, or if the cable guy had to come over to fix the pay-per-view box during the pay-per-view, Mark would scream and pound furniture with hammer fists. When we were 20, not 9. While we haven't tuned into the weekly shows with any consistency, we watch the WWE pay-per-views, and in comparing women's matches on pay-per-views, I haven't seen anything recently on a WWE event that matches the fight for the NWA World's Women's title from Hard Times. I gave the tag team ladder match between the Kabuki Warriors and Flair and Becky from TLC Match of the Year consideration for 2019, and I'll stick to that. But to quote Bubba Ray, who has a deep level of expertise and experience, where was the drama? Where were the attempts to win? Why didn't the ladies climb the ladders when they had the chances? Perhaps it isn't fair to say that a ladder match should automatically be more exciting than a regular match, although I think it is. Mark and I saw Razor Ramon versus Shawn Michaels at St. Mary's High School. We saw them again on pay-per-view 2 months later at WrestleMania 10. I'm going to speak for Mark and say the WrestleMania ladder match was better. There was more opportunity for drama. Kairi Sane may have suffered a concussion during the match, and Bubba Ray said that it's easy for the plans for a ladder match to go out the window. Factor in a serious injury, and we can understand the lull in the action at times. But to a fan, the fact remains that while the match was breathtaking at times, there wasn't an urgency to win. Kay and Rosa were able to use their energy to work two speeds at the same time, which is nothing short of brilliant. They showed a sense of urgency to win, but also slowed things down to bask in the punishment of their hated rival. It wasn't all perfect. Through the chance of fight forever, and this is awesome, there were few instances of poor timing or miscommunication or perhaps fatigue. Still, the ladies did a terrific job of displaying their superior athleticism while driving a story forward. I volunteer as a judge for children's performances. I love kids, and while I give 100% of my attention to their presentations and pride myself on some of the most constructive criticism of any judge, I usually know shortly after the kid utters the first few words what kind of performance it will be and roughly what kind of score the boy or girl will get. Kay and Rosa aren't kids. They're professional athletes. But I felt during the introductions it had the potential to be special. And as soon as they bum rushed each other with fists to the face, I knew it was going to be special. And I texted Mark to tell him that. There is no substitute for energy in any performance, and these ladies had it in abundance. The end presented a twist. Past formulas have told us that after defeating Marty Bell, Kay would beat Rosa on her way to the boss, Melina. It's how video games work. It's how wrestling has always worked. Rosa didn't just win. She won cleanly. There was no interference, no foreign objects, not much dirty fighting. It was two wrestlers who made their business very personal and were determined to not just win, but to show total dominance. Now the story shifts to what happens after this match. With cracks already forming in the foundation of Melina's faction, does this title win help to solidify them and bring them closer together, or will it cause greater friction between Melina and Rosa? Does this make Rosa the leader? Even when Ric Flair was without a belt, Arn Anderson may have held the television title. Tully Blanchard may have held the National Heavyweight Championship. But imagine one of them as world champion while Ric Flair was still around. We have a similar situation in Melina's camp. Bubba Ray talked about the booking of the ladder match for the women's tag team title. His issue is not with the work of the participants, but rather with the booking. I won't claim to understand how booking works and what the wrestlers are told. I'll guess that Seth Rollins didn't take it upon himself to pile chairs on the Fiend's head and end a Hell in a Cell match in a DQ. This was probably booked. Perhaps mist in Flair's face at the top of the ladder, as Bubba suggested would have been a needed spot, would be something that's booked. As a fan, what I'm seeing is a cast of 20 or more performers in WWE who can't seem to tell me as compelling a story as 2 or 3 performers in the NWA. In today's English Tip of the Week, let's compare adjectives and adverbs. An adjective describes a noun or pronoun. An adverb describes a verb and usually ends in ly. So while a wrestler can be quick, a wrestler moves quickly. Quick describes the wrestler. Quickly describes how he moves. When Bobby Heenan ran from Matilda, did he run quick or did he run quickly? Heenan had to be quick to get away from that mangy little mutt. But we're not describing the brain. We're describing how he ran. Run is the verb, so we need the adverb. The answer is quickly. Bret Hart and Lex Luger eliminated Samu and Shawn Michaels from the 1994 Royal Rumble before stopping to stare at each other. Was their sudden stop an abrupt stop or an abruptly stop? We're not describing how they stopped. We're describing the actual stop. So we need the adjective, not the adverb. So the answer is abrupt. And with that, class,
You're dismissed.
Hey, this is Jack Pollock, the IWC Hardcore Icon. You're listening to Can Crushers Podcast. If I like it, you should too.
Yeah, thanks, Jack Pollock. He loves us, the IWC Heavyweight Champion.
Well, he's classy now that he got rid of, what's that other...
Jackson asshole?
I don't know. I haven't heard a lot about him because he's been sucking
All right, Chad. So this is WWE part of the show, which is crazy that we saved it to last, but I don't know why. I really don't. Oh, it's because everybody's been writing into us. I have 10 or 15. I don't know.
I was going to say about 15. Well, 15 and a half because you got the man dime on there.
He didn't write. He wrote to us and says he doesn't care what the mouth breathers say. So whatever.
So that's key, and just remember his comment when it comes to our predictions.
Right.
Because I got something on there. Breaking news.
Breaking news?
Breaking news.
I did. Let's do this one since you brought up the man dime. He referred us. He says here actually talk to Dime Piece. We're allowed to talk to Dime Piece.
But
so,
can she allowed to talk to us?
Apparently, I don't know.
No,
probably
because he's a jerk. Like you can talk to her. Well, yeah, I can talk to her right now. Hey, man piece.
Right. So she says, I don't really care who wins the Royal Rumble because Mandime is not in it. Why would I care about anybody other than him in Team Big League?
And I'm going to have the breaking news when we get to the actual match. You're going to love this.
The only Rumble she cares about is February...
Hey, this is... Oh, okay.
No!
Oh, okay.
The only Rumble she cares about is February 8th in Erie, Pennsylvania at the Avalon, the Revenge Rumble. So
okay.
They're, pushing a little bit of that. None of that funny business because, the Dime Piece she's classy. Unlike the
guy that she's with?
The man dime.
Yeah,
right.
Okay.
So, all right. Let's get into a little bit of WWE. Is Raw, the ladder match on Raw is everything to talk about.
Yeah, that Mysterio, Andrade, Vega. Sorry. They had a hell of a match. This was one of the better matches I've seen in the last years, especially for a TV match, a non-pay-per-view match.
This was the first ladder match on TV since 2007. Did you know that? Well, they let you know. Well, 75 times.
Yeah. Great. Jeez, just a great match.
It really was. Ray was supposed to take most of the bumps. You've seen that Andrade, working together and everything. He got hurt more than Ray getting the moves done. Yeah. The DDT onto the ladder. Ray bounced off and looked great bouncing off. Andrade was folded up into the mix. It hurt. It hurt me.
Yeah, my little boy who's 5 years old and, he's trying to do, moves to his teddy bear and Ninja Turtle off the back of our couch.
Ninja Turtle.
Even he looked at this and he was like, "Oh, Dad, are they okay? That looked like it hurt." And then he jumps up on the back of the couch and jumps off. But anyway, he was like, "Holy crap, that was good."
Yeah. The powerbomb, Hurricane Rana type of deal thing. I don't know where it was supposed to go, but Ray landed right on the back of his head. Had the wherewithal to spin himself to make Alma still go over. I don't know who was supposed to take that, but it hurt both of them as well. Unbelievable moves. This was a great ladder match.
Yeah, awesome match. The ending, Andrade winning. Saw it coming.
Yeah.
Now a huge development off of that, which will go into predictions, is they were gonna
Stop thinking of her.
in all of her magnificence was pulling away the ringside padding, and they're gonna, try to put Mysterio out, and some freaking fan jumps over the
wearing a mask,
and you're like, what in the hell? And it's Humberto.
I don't like this guy.
Gorilla coming back after his injury, his time off, which was
he had finals.
In real
finals.
Life. Yeah, he had school finals. I kind of like his fire.
In Desire, Mandy Rose and Sonya.
Well, those two, but then we're going back to the Selena Vega.
Okay,
thing.
all right.
I like the way the kid wrestles. I like his fire and how he wrestles.
All right.
There's just something about him.
There's something about him that I don't like.
But we'll get to match predictions.
We'll get there. We also saw new tag team champions in Rollins and Buddy Murphy beating the Viking Warrior Raiders, Experience, whatever the hell their name is. This is one we saw on NWA, 2 single wrestlers become tag team champions, and we're all right with. This is one I'm not, because the Viking Experience, Warrior Raiders, whatever, you've built them up since they were the War Raiders in NXT, making them look like badasses. Now this first time that Buddy Murphy and Seth Rollins are together, they win.
There's a screw job, the go-home lazy ending of a screw job, and they win the title. And I'm a Seth Rollins fan, but I did not like this at all.
Did you like Ricochet getting the shit beat out of him? Nah.
Yes, but not by who it happened by.
Right. Yeah. Drew and Randy match. You see what's coming there. The OC comes out.
Nothing really much more on Raw. That ladder match was the sole
thing. A stupid question, because then we'll get into predictions. What the hell is in the cage? What are they going to bring out of this cage? It can't be the gobbledygooker unless it's a baby gobbledygooker that keeps biting Rowan. What's going to be in there? He can't be another snake guy.
No. I think what they're going to pull when they finally reveal this is they're going to have this cage on top of a podium type thing or box or something, and when he pulls the burlap off of it, it's going to be somebody's head. It's going to be
Al
somebody...
Snow? Head is coming back?
That would be cool.
That would be amazing.
That would be instant firing for him, but I can see them pulling and it being somebody's head spitting stuff and acting all nutsy.
So it's going to be sitting on a desk.
And the person's obviously going to be
underneath it with a hole in it.
Just their head there.
And it's going to be somebody that we haven't seen in a while. Nor do we,
it
Mosh.
might not even be somebody that we care about.
Mosh or Thrasher.
It's going to be something weird like that. I don't know.
Whatever. That's. I thought it was going to be like a rat or something. But if you want to go with somebody's head, whatever. That's blowing my mind right now. Switching over to SmackDown again. Really, I'm glad that Uso's Roman match was first to get it off. I'm intrigued now that it's a strap match between Bray Wyatt and Daniel. I'm intrigued a little bit, but it's going to be ruined because that freaking red light is going to be on. Not one wrestler, you read the comments, likes wrestling with this red light because it's a distraction. It's stupid.
I hope that maybe they don't have it, but I think this is going to be a brutal match. I think WWE is going to go off the norm, and they're going to let this be a brutal match.
No. Something stupid's going to happen.
Well, that's a given, but I'm
saying
there's going to be there's going to be straps, there's going to be welts, there's going to be some bleeding from that. I think it's going to be a brutal match that way.
All right, so let's get to the Royal Rumble. It starts in a couple hours, folks. We can touch on some of the matches, but what we're really here for is the Rumble predictions. Do you want to predict Bray Wyatt keeps the title? I think.
Yeah.
Bayley keeps title. Hers. Becky keeps hers over Asuka. And I think there might be a turn between Asuka and Kairi. I think this tag team. What else do we have? Roman against Corbin that can end up anywhere.
5,000th time.
Yeah, it can end up anywhere. Roman wins this.
My prediction for that is Roman hooks him up to a dog collar in a doghouse, and he reveals the name on the doghouse to be Corbin, and that's where he pins him.
That would be cool. Other matches we really don't care about. Let's just put that out there.
The Rumble is what's...
This is the only thing that cares about. Do you want to do people first? Let's do people first and then end with us. Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Because they don't know what the hell they're talking about.
They don't. Yeah. So the dime piece, we've already covered him, and Man Dime and a dime piece that we've already covered. So we also got Evan Ginsberg writes into us from 350 Days again. Great interview, wasn't it?
Yeah, awesome interview. The topics, the insight, just a great interview.
If you guys haven't listened to it, and if you haven't watched 350 Days yet, you're foolish. Get there. Ginsburg didn't give us a women's one. He just said Zack Ryder is going to win the men's. I don't know where he's going. He's a huge, air quotes, WWE fan.
Where does he live at?
New York City.
Oh, okay.
Woo, woo,
I
woo.
was just wondering if, weed was legal there and maybe he was smoking on that pick.
He's a huge, air quotes, WWE fan. So he's mocking them like they mock us. So... our boy from the beginning of the show, Nick Lendl, again, coming on. He's like, guys, you got to get us out there. He's predicting Roman Reigns and Shayna Baszler.
It's not bad picks for either of them.
I'd be pissed about the Roman one.
I would be, but...
I know. One of our big listeners... Not in stature, though. Jason Dixon.
The Cupcake Girl?
No, not the Cupcake Girl. Oh. Jason Dixon says Drew McIntyre and Sasha. I like the Drew one. I love the Sasha pick, but I don't see it yet. I'm not sure. Are we ready for Sasha to Bayley to break up again? I don't think yet.
But see they could drag it out if Sasha won it. She doesn't have to name her person right away. There's never anything said that they have to name their person right away. And we have a pay-per-view in between this.
Right.
And Sasha's still not a bad pick.
I'd be all right with it. Marvelous Matt Bish says Randy Orton and Charlotte Flair. I like... I
don't like either one of them. I don't like either one of them. I think Orton...
The Randy one would make more sense.
Randy would make more sense, but there's just not time to develop and make it an interesting match.
Who would Orton take then? Brock or Bray? Or do you have to stick with your promotion?
That is something...
And we haven't known that yet.
Now, that is something the last couple of years... They have said you can from
pick
your brand.
Oh yeah.
This year,
they did.
They have actually said 2 or 3 times that they can pick any title they want.
Oh, all right.
Obviously,
well, maybe somebody's going to come back to IWC and pick the Super Indie title then.
That would be nice.
Speaking of IWC, we have 2 coming in from IWC. Jimmy Nutt says Drew McIntyre and Charlotte. We're getting a lot of Charlotte, by the way.
Y'all are sick.
Y'all are stupid. Stupid.
Well, I didn't want to go that.
I will be. I love Jimmy Nuts, but no, Charlotte.
Pardon the pun, you're nuts.
Nuts. Calvin Couture says it doesn't matter who wins, nobody's going to look as good as him, but he thinks it's going to be Alexa Bliss and Roman Reigns.
Still not bad picks for storyline purposes.
I'm all right with again, I don't want Roman. I'm all right with the Bliss one. Again, she's always top of the upper echelon. She's around there. I can see getting rid of the whole Nikki Cross thing that she's with because she needs to be by herself. And she needs to be a bitch again.
Yeah.
I love her.
She's much hot. I mean, she's hot no matter what.
What?
When she's a bitch, it's just that much more.
One of our podcasting friends, the Final Count, Ryan Mosley, says Charlotte and Drew McIntyre.
No more Charlotte picks.
We have 2 more because we have Justin Plummer, owner of IWC.
Justin, I will lose all respect for you if you pick Charlotte.
He says Charlotte Flair and Elias.
I'm going to have to talk to your wife about this, Justin.
Jenny would not say Charlotte. I'll tell you that right now.
Jenny's smart.
This is right. Chad Miller, part owner with Al Snow of OVW, says Roman Reigns and Alexa Bliss.
I kind of, unfortunately,
You're getting on the Alexa
in
Bliss
one
line, man.
in one case, I see too many people picking this person, but kind of see that there's only two picks that mostly everybody's sticking with.
Right?
2 or 3 picks.
2 or 3 picks. Saved, not the best for last. The English professor doesn't reveal his during his shtick because you already heard, but he says Charlotte Flair, because we knew that was coming, and Brock Lesnar is going to run the gamut. Talk about being stupid. Nothing. You don't even want to acknowledge his picks. Nothing. All right. So get to yours. And I'm going last since I'm the host. Who are your picks for the Royal Rumble winners? Women's first.
Women's, you got Bayley and Becky as champions. I'm going to throw this out there. Ronda Rousey is a surprise entrant because they need somebody for Becky at WrestleMania.
I hate your face right now. You have Bliss written down, so I thought you were going with Bliss. No. This is why I saved mine till last. Ronda's been popping up on social... Now we're fighting. Ronda's been popping up on social media again and everything. It's clearly going to be Ronda as a surprise. You need to do the whole WrestleMania thing over again with just Becky and Ronda. It's been played up for so freaking long, you son of a bitch.
And I wrote Bliss down because everybody was picking, and I wanted to make note of that, but she was not my pick.
It's noted right here on this piece of freaking paper. So we're both going with Ronda.
Obviously.
Same reasons.
Obviously, you had to jump in my...
Same reasons. I agree. She's popped up. I love wrestlers. But sometimes, like, Natty just posted a picture of her. We haven't seen Ronda in a while. Natty, hey, look who I just saw. Stop. And I know it's to go this in sometimes.
Was there a cat in there?
I don't know. But
God.
I know it's to go this in sometimes. But this is perfect timing.
Yeah, not a huge Rousey fan, but I think Ronda Rousey does it. I think she's probably going to eliminate the last 3 in are going to be Bliss, Rousey, and Baszler. And I think that Ronda eliminates Baszler to win it.
Which sets up a lot then down the line.
Yep.
A couple other, I'm going to say 2 other people that I see returning, and it's been out there, but I think Ruby Riott returns tonight and has a great showing in the Rumble. And Naomi returns, doesn't have a great outing. She's in and out.
Yeah, I could see Riott coming back, and there's always that one person that has a monster match that doesn't win it.
And I think
I could see her being the one for...
With no squad anymore,
yeah.
Her injuries came at a bad time because she was getting pushed. I think this is her return. Whatever brand she goes to, I think she's instantly in the mix to get a shot. And I'd love it because I've always liked Ruby Riott. All right. We're going long, and we still have shit to do. Men's.
Winning it... I'm gonna go with Roman. I gotta go with him. More so, and this will sound funny, than Roman winning it is gonna be the developments out of the Rumble for Brock Lesnar. Because you have Lesnar's not gonna win.
No.
Anybody who
John.
Just remember, you better have a card for that stuff you're smoking with that pick.
Right.
Somebody's going to eliminate Lesnar. Who's it going to be? And we were talking about this. So help me God, if they do Vasquez and he goes against Lesnar at WrestleMania. And then it became apparent over the last day or so, they have a card in between that.
Elimination
and they're
Chamber.
trying to push it. No, they're trying to push a Saudi card.
Oh, yeah.
Before WrestleMania. This would be where they could have Velasquez, or my pick to eliminate Lesnar, Tyson Fury, and have them in a match. Have them, this is a match, Lesnar flips his lid, again, wants the match right away. They have him, this is the match. But Raw has a stronger, roster.
Right.
That we agree on that. Raw has a stronger roster. Raw can have a stronger Elimination Chamber match. The Elimination Chamber, since Lesnar's like, I want him now, I don't want to wait till WrestleMania. The Elimination Chamber now becomes Lesnar's opponent for WrestleMania. And my pick to win that is going to be Drew McIntyre.
Exactly. I like where you're going. I completely agree with that. This way, again, whoever wins this is not definitely challenging Brock. You have Bray as well that you could challenge. We just forget about that all the time. Whoever wins this is going to challenge Brock. No, they're not.
That is who, and that's going to be the first surprise. Roman wins it. Everybody thinks Roman and Lesnar.
Right.
Rolling their eyes. And Roman goes after
Bray. I think just because, and it's going to make sense to keep this shitty storyline going, because that's what we do here in the WWE. Corbin gets his ass beat during Roman's match, comes out 29 or whatever, sneaks a victory, and Corbin ends up getting the title shot at WrestleMania because he's the king, he's so over. But from now until then, your match at WrestleMania for the SmackDown Championship is going to be Roman Corbin, because Bray will be out of it by then because the Elimination Chamber.
They will not put Corbin.
Yes,
in.
I'm not saying it's the main event. I'm not saying it's the main event.
But they're not. He will lose if Corbin wins the Rumble.
People are going to go apeshit
after I'm done puking and everything, and I'll have to drink more to get over it. But he'll lose it before then. He'll lose the title shot. He will find some way to lose that shot.
All right, I'm all right with that too. All right, we're going along. Who? Give me two surprises. Men's returning.
Wow. Returning.
Surprises. Just surprises.
Jason Jordan.
Wow. You're stretching there, but okay.
Jason Jordan, and I think you're going to see both Tyson Fury and Velasquez in it.
So you gave me three. All right, you can't count. I think you're going to see some. I think you're going to see some legends return. Have it be Santino Marella. Have it be Aldo Montoya.
Boogeyman.
The Boogeyman, yeah. So, legends with my air quotes return. So I'm excited. The Rumble match is always my favorite concept match.
Yeah.
Just because there's always action. I don't always like the winners, but I'm pissed that you went Ronda as well.
Well, let's talk about the women's match. Maybe some surprises beyond our pick. My pick, I was first.
We can't go much longer. We're at 145.
Okay, I'm just gonna say, here is my dark horse to win the women's match.
Sarah Logan.
Nope. The Man Dime.
God. Maybe he does. Maybe he does win it. All right, guys. Great show. It's longer than we thought. I was actually excited when the English professor only went 10 minutes. I thought, wow, we'll have some time to play with. Well, we don't. We are pushing the limit once again. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Send us some messages. Get involved with this horse shit type of show that we're going on with. CanCrusher69@gmail.com. Website is cancrusher69.wixsite.com/cancrushers. I'm losing my voice all of a sudden. I don't know what's going on, but we have maybe a great spotlight coming up Wednesday if this guy returns my phone call. We'll see. Otherwise, we'll definitely be back next Sunday with the recap of our train wreck picks and make fun of John and Plummer and anybody else that picked Charlotte because she's not winning.
No. And we're not going to acknowledge it if she does.
Yeah, we will not. We will not have a Rumble review. How about that?
We'll have the men's Rumble.
That's it. All right, guys, have a great week, and check you later, huh?
Later, guys. Be safe.